Welcome to this video as a preparation for seated meditation. We'll start seated in a comfortable upright posture, working on the neck first, connecting with the breath first so that we can use the breath to help us lead our warm up through the neck. Sitting tall but comfortable. As we settle into the breath. Getting ready as we breathe out to take the chin round and over the right shoulder, waiting there for the in-breath to bring us back to centre. The next out-breath releasing round and over the left shoulder. Breathing in to come back to centre. Taking a few more of those in each direction. Usually I find about 3 in each direction is enough. And then come back to centre, switching to a side-to-side movement, using an out-breath to release right ear towards right shoulder, feeling the stretch on the left side, inhaling to centre, exhaling left ear towards left shoulder, feeling the stretch on the right. Just moving gently from side to side, so we're not looking to get the ear to the shoulder. It's simply to feel a gentle stretch, just enough stretch. And again, roughly 3 of those in each direction. And then as you come back to center, let's drop the chin towards the chest. And then as you inhale, sliding the chin along the right collarbone up towards the right shoulder. Use the out breath to slide away back the way you came to center. Inhaling up to the left shoulder. And back down on the exhale. Feeling the stretch in the back of the neck now. Notice that changing stretch. And after roughly 3 of those in each direction, when you come to center, gently lift the head back up and then pointing the nose up towards the ceiling, just enough to stretch the front of the throat, bringing the head then back up, balancing ears above shoulders, visualizing now a number 8 on its side in front of you. Let your nose trace that number 8 shape. Keeping this number 8 the right size for your neck comfort, so not overdoing it. Clicks and crunches are likely. We want to stay away from pain though. At some point we change direction as you get to center. And come back to the middle, working into the shoulders then by drawing them up towards the ears, taking those shoulders back, dropping them down, draw them forward, and maybe bring fingertips up on top of the shoulders and let the elbows lead some slightly bigger feeling movements. And then releasing those arms down by the side. And then converting this into a little side stretch for the spine, dropping one hand down towards the ground, let the other arm lift up and over. And just moving as deeply into this as feels good for your back. Trying to keep the sit bones fixed on the floor or as I am here on some blocks, so you feel stable. And when you've done enough for you, another couple of shoulder rolls to ease out. And then I'm going to shift myself directly onto the floor, losing those blocks and taking the legs wide. Sit bones fixed on the ground, sitting up nice and tall. And from here, coming into a little bit of a twist. So taking right hand onto the outside of the left thigh, let the left arm come round behind, feeling that generalized twist throughout the spine, switching from side to side. See if you can inhale back to the middle, exhale as you soften into the twist. Not yanking yourself into an overly deep twist, just enough twist. And we're twisting from the waist and up rather than twisting and forcing the low back. And when you've done enough of those side to side, let's draw the legs back together and just see if we can bring the soles of the feet together, allowing the knees to drop out to the side. So coming into a cobbler pose here. If you can comfortably get your first two fingers between your first two toes and have the arms straight and a nice upright spine, then go ahead. If you need to hold the ankles or even the lower legs, that's fine too, but looking to release in the inner thighs here. Holding and breathing as long as you need. Before then, drawing the knees back up to center and then changing position. Let's come to lie on the back. Hug the knees in over the tummy, one hand on top of each knee, and then guide the knees through opposite directions, circular directions, so we get a circular movement going on through the hips. A few of these in one direction, changing direction. And then lowering the feet to the ground, arms down by the sides. And then let's bring the right knee in over the tummy. Breathing out, take the nose towards the knee. Breathing in, extend the leg up in the air, arms go back to the ground behind. Exhaling, core on, straight leg lower, arms by the side. Breathe in, that right knee comes in. Breathe out, lifting the nose towards the knee. Inhaling, straighten the leg, arms back. Exhaling, straight leg lower, arms down. One more like that on this right leg. Nice flowing movements led by the breath. And as you lower the leg for the third time, reposition, foot on the floor. Breathing in to bring the left knee in over the tummy. Breathing out, hugging the nose and the knee together. Breathing in, arms float back to the ground behind, leg goes up. Exhaling, core on, support that leg all the way down. Knee in over the tummy, exhaling, nose to knee. Breathing in, arms back, leg up. Breathing out to the ground. One more. And after the third one with the left leg, bend the knees. And let's bring two knees in over the tummy. Exhaling, nose to the space between the knees. Inhaling, unfold the legs, arms back. Exhaling, bend the knees and take the feet to the floor. Now, if you think you have a really strong core muscles, then maybe you can straight leg lower with two legs, but that is a big ask. Those two legs together are pretty heavy. So do the right version for you. Either bring the feet to the floor with the knees bent at the end or straight leg lower, but do look after your back. And taking 3 of those with the two legs together. As you come out of the third one, pause a moment. And then moving on. Let's roll over to one side and push up into an all fours position, wrists beneath shoulders, knees beneath hips. Let's take a few cat-cow movements. So tucking that tail under, feeling an arch creep up the back, chin towards the chest, and then dipping the tummy, chest coming forwards, alternating between those two postures. Just feeling what goes on with the back as you make these moves. After a few of those, let's step the right foot back, tucking the toes under, so we push the heel back. This right foot is an anchor as you then take your left elbow out to the side, unfold that arm in the air, then sweep it through the gap between the knee and the supporting right hand. And this we call threading the needle pose. Obviously creating a little bit of a twist and lots of mobility through the shoulder, maybe turning the head to look up at the hand as it points towards the ceiling, if your shoulder is willing for that to happen. After a few on one side, take the left foot back, toes under, heel back, anchoring you as your right arm moves, elbow leading the movement up in the air, following the movement of the hand with the eyes. Ideally, same number on each side before coming back to all fours, and then creating a little bit more space between the hands and the knees now. And we'll do a little bit of a rocking backwards and forwards here, finding some space in the front of both hips, a bit of length in the front of the body. So going to rock forward, guiding the hips towards the ground, but not necessarily to the ground. And then easing back, taking those hips back towards the heels, head to the floor. Finding your way through. And it may be that as you take a few of these, each time you come through forwards, you might find there's a little bit more space. You might find the hips are more willing to go a little closer to the floor, but we're not forcing. Just see what your body wants to do when you're doing it. And then we'll slide into a Sphinx pose, coming down, resting the tummy on the ground, elbows beneath the shoulders, forearms supporting, breastbone easing forwards. After a little time there, draw the hands back, push back up to all four square, tuck your toes under, pop up into a downward facing dog, a lovely upside down V shape. And let's walk the dog. So easing one heel towards the ground as you bend the other knee, switching sides, opening up down the backs of the legs. And from here, easing back to the knees. And then coming into a seated position, this time a wide-legged seated position, pointing the toes towards the ceiling, keeping this generalized length in the back of the leg. If it helps, sit on the front edge of a block or a cushion to help tilt the pelvis. Taking a stirring the pudding action here, so arms extended, holding an imaginary wooden spoon and stirring a huge bowl here. Keeping both sit bones fixed on the ground. A few of these in one direction and switching direction. And when you've enjoyed that one enough, scoop those legs back together, switching to a rowing boat action. Now extending the arms and holding an imaginary set of oars, taking those oars forward, leaning back, up and over, rowing your imaginary boat, lifting, lengthening, folding forward, drawing back, core muscles supporting you. A few of these with a forward rowing action before switching to reverse your boat. Keep that core working for you, supporting. Coming to a stop. Stopping in this upright seated position before switching to a cross-legged position, settling, sit bones fixed, returning to breath awareness. Gentle breath in, gentle breath out. Namaste.